Grady Powell, host of Forged in Fire.
Kyle Mann.
I'm Jay Warner Wallace.
Kira Davis.
It's Ben Adams.
Hey, this is Dave Baker.
Carrie Pomeroli.
This is Mike Reiner.
This is Ethan Nicole.
This is Leah Morgan.
It's Dan Parker, the 5GP, and this is why you should never.
How I got suckered in.
I'm so embarrassed that I'm here.
You're wasting your time. You got better things to do.
Never listen.
Those darling, yummy Reverend and the Reprobate.
Hey everybody, it's Lucas from the Reverend and the Reprobate podcast. We are airing a special episode so that y'all can see some of the cool stuff that we're getting to do with some of our other podcasting friends. This is episode 1 of a multi-part series where we are play testing Marvel's new Multiverse tabletop role-playing game. We're getting to do this with our friends from the Christian Nerds Unite podcast, from people from Tatooine Sons, the Speaking Nerdy podcast, and Ashley Cox from Fangirling Over Jesus. We hope that you dig it. If you do like it, you can catch all of the rest of these episodes and the rest of this series over at Christian Nerds Unite. So make sure that you go over there, subscribe to that channel so that you can follow along if this is something that y'all dig. And leave us a note. Let us know if you like this kind of content that we're putting out and what you think of the new Marvel game.
This is Lucas left.
He went to go grab his medication.
We're off to a good start, guys.
Look, you gotta start your thyroid medication first thing in the morning.
First thing.
On an empty stomach.
Good word there. Good word.
I'm done.
This is the Christian Nerds Unite podcast bonus first real play we've ever tried. I am Ricky, and I am going to be the narrator. And eventually, Lucas Pinkard will be back with us, and I'll have everybody else introduce themselves. But we are playing the Marvel Multiverse Role Playing Game playtest. Using the playtest, nice.
I'm digging it.
Danley has to dress for the occasion. If you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, I think you'll owe it to yourself to go watch the video version at some point. It will be on YouTube somewhere. But
perfect.
All right. Well, I am Ricky. I am going to be the narrator. So if you've ever played a role-playing game before and you've heard the term GM, Game Master, or DM, Dungeon Master, in the Marvel role-playing game, the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, to differentiate it from the old version, they are calling this person the narrator. I'm a little disappointed they didn't call them the Watcher, but I think that was a missed opportunity. But I guess that actually allows them to make the Watchers a character. So there's that. But let's go around and introduce everybody. And I'm just going to go in the order that you guys are on my screen. Danley, you're up.
Hey. Yeah, I'm Dan Gibson, and I'm playing Groot today. So I'll be utilizing some of those narration of just saying I'm Groot. I have a health of 240 and focus of 120.
Wow.
And tell us where people might find you.
Oh yeah, who I am and where I'm from. From Dallas, Texas. I'm a podcaster. That's how we all kind of hooked up. The Reverend and the Reprobate show is what Lucas and I work on, which he's coming up dressed as Rocket after the marvelously talented Ashley.
You're up, Ashley.
I'm Groot. No, just kidding. Had to. I'm Ashley. I am trying to remember all the questions. I'm Ashley. I'm in North Carolina. I have my business Fangirling Over Jesus. Finally turned it also into podcast thanks to everybody here's encouragement. So thanks, guys. And I am playing Storm, but I don't have a Storm shirt, so I'm rocking a Black Widow shirt. Wow, it's early. Here we go. This is gonna be great, guys.
All right, and Lucas, you're up.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
I'm Lucas, speaker from the Reverend and the Reprobate show that I do with Danley, and I have the pleasure of being Rocket and being Danley's interpreter. So this is less like a role-playing game and more like real life.
Awesome. All right, BB Nate, tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm BB Nate. I'm from the Tatooine Sons podcast. I'm playing Spider-Man Miles Morales today with 90 health and 90 focus. So I'm gonna have to figure that out.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. We did have a fifth character that was going to join us, but due to some family issues they are dealing with, be praying for my good friend Mike of the Speaking Nerdy podcast. They're just having some hard things, life issues right now, and we'll hopefully, if we continue this series, we will have him back later. So
yeah. And if not, are we going to do like the soap opera thing where like the part of Stefano is now being played by?
Oh my goodness.
Man, you're on a roll this morning.
This is the way this is all going to go. So, couple of things for those who are uninitiated in the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. It is a 3d6 game, and so all you need is 3 6-sided dice, and but one needs to be a little bit different. One needs to be what they're going to call the Marvel die, and the Marvel die is, if you eventually, it looks like they're going to have a product out that you can actually purchase with a Marvel die, and the number and the one on the Marvel die looks like a it's the Marvel logo. And BB and 8, you had kind of a special die. I just wanted to make sure the 1 is your special icon, not the 6, right?
It's the 1, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so either way, you need to differentiate one of your die and mark it as the Marvel die, however you want to do that. You know, I've got 2 yellow dice and 1 red die right here, and the red die will be my Marvel die. And the big deal is when you're rolling, kind of the ultimate fantastic, and I've got some notes over here to the side, the ultimate fantastic roll. What do they call it? They call it ultimate fantastic roll is to roll a 616, which is the name of, it's what the comic book continuity of Marvel is. And so that's kind of going to be one of the things we're going to see. If anybody, so make sure everybody knows this. I want to bring everybody more full screen here. So if you roll a 1 on the Marvel die, no matter what, if you roll a 1 on the Marvel die, make sure you let me know, because that's special. And for those of you who, some of you might use, virtual tabletops, we're going to do this a little bit differently, and we're going to do this a little bit on the trust system. I'm going to let everybody roll their own dice, and it's an honor system.
It's gonna be like, I've gotten Marvel every single time.
No way.
I think technically Rocket's a thief, and there's no honor among thieves.
That's true.
I'm gonna grab my dice rolling tray so my dice don't escape my desk.
I should probably have that, but I don't.
So anyway, so anytime you roll a 1, that means something extra is going to happen. Even if you fail, a 1 gets you something. So let's say you roll and your target number was 18, but with all of your bonuses, you roll and you get a 1 on the Marvel die, and you get, your whole setup, you only hit 17. So you didn't succeed, but something good still happens. And when that happens, you can, according to the rule book, you can suggest what you would like to happen, or you can let me just choose what happens. But it's still going to be up to me as the narrator to say whether that is what happens. Now,
that's why it's not called the Watcher, because you have to be involved.
Yeah, I am
Yeah, there you
involved
go.
a little bit. That's a good call. Good call. So if you do roll all ones, that is a botched roll, and it doesn't really say anything bad happens necessarily, but that is like the worst. So even if you get a 1 on the Marvel die, if the other 2 dies are 1s, it is still a fail. There's nothing good is going to happen there.
It's the worst.
The worst. Let's see here. So you can have a fantastic failure and you can have a fantastic success. So fantastic failure is a 1 on the Marvel die, but you don't reach your target number. And that's a no, you didn't succeed, but something vaguely good still happened. Fantastic success is a 1 on the Marvel die and you hit your target number or higher. Fantastic success is yes, whatever it was you were trying to do happened and something extra happened.
Got it.
And then the ultimate fantastic is if you actually roll a 616. Here's hoping somebody rolls a 616 sometime during our game. And if that happens, then what you some extra things could kick in. By the way, as you're checking out your skills, your powers, you might notice that I believe in some instances, depending on what you roll, something else might kick in. So you might double check those if you have a fantastic roll. If you roll the Marvel die with a 1. So before we try to get into this, do you guys have any questions? Okay, so
I don't think so.
None of us have ever played this game before.
Yep.
We've all read various portions of the book, and looked through the characters. So there's going to be a lot of us maybe looking up things. So we're going to see how this goes. One of the things that we're going to run into is that Mr. Danley Gibson, I am Groot over there, in character can only say I am Groot. So Rocket will be his interpreter. And if you've ever played a role-playing game and you've never had a situation like this, it can be kind of fun. And what we're going to do is Dan is going to send a message over to Lucas, and then Lucas is going to figure out exactly what he needs to do with that information. And we're going to leave that up to him. One of the things in this game is that there are karma points. Karma points can be used once a turn by each of you. And what it can do is allow you to re-roll 1 die. Okay? Does that make sense? So each of you on your character sheets, you're going to see that you have a certain number of karma. And so you can just tick those karma. So you might just keep track of those if you use any karma. However, I can award karma to you for good role playing.
Oh.
So when you do something super positive, or you do something super creative, or if you do something that's just very, very in character for what your character is, I have the opportunity to award you extra karma. But you can only use karma 1 time per turn. So unfortunately, you can't just keep rolling until you get a 616.
Would you like an example of in character
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I am Groot.
Look, he hails from Planet X, and like his small raccoon friend here, everyone with any sort of prosthetic device should, watch themselves, because if it's valuable, we just might take it.
There you go.
Good call. Good call.
5 karma to each of us.
You're here.
I'm Groot.
Definitely feel free to ask any questions as we go along. And we're gonna kick this off. You guys ready?
Yes, for the next 19 minutes.
That is something that you're going to find out at some point. Lucas is going to have to step away for a few moments, and not sure how long. But when Lucas does step away, something interesting will happen in the game, and he will disappear for a little while. And unfortunately, BB Nate and Ashley, you simply won't be able to understand what Danley is saying if he decides to say something.
Yeah, and unless Danley texts it, unless Groot texts it to Rocket and Rocket texts it to Storm or BB Nate, so that we can just make this as convoluted as possible.
I don't think Groot in game would probably have a phone on him to text.
But no, I've got a device that allows me to telekinetically speak with Groot because of I'm Rocket.
Ah,
that's how I'm using one of my karma.
All right, let's go.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, let's see how this goes. I realized I'm way off mic if I don't have this over here. So
that's such a nice mic.
It is.
I know. Yeah, and if I'm off mic, like even a little bit, it's hard to hear. So let's see here.
Is that a black EV?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yep. Yep. A black RE20. I love it. They just came out with them recently, so I bought one. It's exactly the same as the gray one. There's no difference, literally.
Except for the black.
It's
literally the color is the only difference.
It's the microphone that Batman would use.
It is.
We just have Alfred's stupid mics.
I am the mic. All right. So you are all at the Avengers Mansion for various reasons. Storm, you are there to just check out what's going on with the Avengers, because a lot of the Avengers are off on a gallivant in space. So there's really not too many people around. Jarvis the Butler, now when I say Jarvis the Butler, I actually mean Jarvis the Butler from the comics, is floating around the mansion. But you notice there's not a lot of other Avengers around. And then you notice over in the corner, Rocket and Groot are there. They have shown up, trying to figure out how they're going to get back into space because their spaceship is broken down. They were hoping to connect with Tony Stark and see if he could help them do some extra repairs. Unfortunately, Tony is indisposed and unavailable. Miles Morales, Mr. Spider-Man, you were there. You were hoping to join the Avengers, and that's been your goal all your life, is to be an Avenger. So you show up at the house at least once a day, seeing if there's anything you can do to help around the mansion, just to see if there's any way you can get in the good graces and eventually join the Avengers. Jarvis is there kind of giving you guys, showing you guys around a little bit. And since you're there, and, he asks you if you'd like any drinks. So just really quick, give me an idea. What do you guys want to do right now while you're at the mansion?
Do we have to go in order?
At this point, no. Just somebody say something you want to do.
I want to open a door. Any door.
Yeah.
Any door. Okay. So
what doors are there in this room?
in this particular room, there are really just 3 doors. There's a really, really massive door, but that's the door outside. It's the door you guys came through. You're kind of in the foyer here. There is a kind of a gray solid door ahead of you, and then off to the right there is a wooden door that's a little bit smaller, a little more ornate.
Is there any good sun in the room?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
There are lots of big windows. This is a big foyer. Imagine this is the old school Avengers mansion from the comics.
Okay.
So imagine, this is a really ornate room. It's not super high tech, or it doesn't appear that way. But that's where you are. So yeah, lots of sunlight, lots of big windows.
So my ride is being properly photosynthesized while
Yes.
I'm adorning his shoulder. Okay.
Yes.
So is there anything to explore in the room before we open a door?
Not really.
Then
Is there coffee?
Main question.
Jarvis will bring you coffee if you asked him.
I'd like to ask Jarvis for coffee.
Do we have to roll?
Initiative, yeah.
That's how many shots. If we get a 1, then we get like 5 shots of espresso.
So for those of you who are curious about that exact thing, one thing the narrator is able to do, if it's something simple, you can just decide it happens as the narrator. You don't have to make the players roll for every little thing. I will say this game can get a little crunchy in the number side, especially in combat. So take advantage of some of the fun of just letting things happen. It's the as Ashley and I were mentioned earlier, it's the yes and principle. Yes, what you said happened, and this other thing to kind of continue the story. So Jarvis does bring you coffee. It's black coffee, but on the tray there is
That was loud. Wow.
Holy
So
cow.
on the tray there's sugar and cream.
Strong
and
coffee.
He asks you, he offers it to all of you. So Rocket wanted to open a door. Before he opens the door, Miles or Storm, do you want to do anything?
I'd like to study Groot. I think that is a yeah.
So
for sure.
So
Hey,
Spider-Man
Groot,
is
stand
gonna,
up and turn around for us.
So Spider-Man is going to go over and he's trying to figure out what Groot is exactly. Okay. And so Storm, what are you doing?
I'm gonna watch Rocket and see if he bowls over in case the coffee's poisoned.
Okay.
You never know who might poison somebody in the mansion.
That's true.
That is true. That is true. Everything seems to
I
be
don't trust
fine.
droids.
Everything seems to be fine. And Lucas, you wanted to open a door. Which door did you want to open? Did you want to go outside, or did you want to open the large gray metal door, or the wood ornate door? And if you didn't notice, Jarvis had come out of the ornate wooden door when he was bringing the coffee to you.
Okay, look, I know you want to go outside in the sun, but you got plenty of light coming in through the windows. There's other things we have to do. We're gonna go over to the ornate door by the window because the wooden door offends my ride.
Okay, so are you going to open the wooden door?
Let's open the wooden door. I'm gonna have Groot open the wooden door.
I have Groot.
Okay. So Groot opens the door, and all you see is it's a large dining room with a large dining table. And as you open it, Jarvis walks through the door and says, "Oh, thank you very much." He then passes through into another door, and just as soon as he's in the other door, just long enough for him to set down the tray, you see him come back quickly out of the door and says, "I need to speak with all four of you right now," and asks you all to come into the dining room. So at that point, Jarvis says, "I've just received a message from Mr. Stark, and there appears to have been a break-in at a research facility at Empire State University, and it's the Howard and Maria Stark Center for Galactic History, and there's been some kind of break-in, and he's been told." Their rumor is that there are Hydra agents involved, and since you are the only four here, Mr. Stark has asked if you would please just go over and investigate what is going on over at the Howard's and Maria Stark Center for Galactic History, and see if there's anything you can do to help.
I think this is Tony's fault.
So what do you do now?
Hey, I'm gonna go help him, of course.
Yeah, well, let's listen, Miles Morales. You're no Tom Holland. Look, Storm, you've got leadership experience. What's
I am Groot.
What's your take on this? Yeah, okay, the small spider boy's fine. We'll protect him whatever happens. But let's talk to the lightning lady, since the big guy's in Asgard.
Yeah, I think we should go help. I think we should go sneak over and investigate. Apparently, sneaky is a trait.
What kind of stuff do we have here? Like, can I fly a Sequinjet? Does she fly and then he swings and we trudge and follow? How close are we to this place?
I'm gonna let you decide. How would you guys like to get there? It's not far. It wouldn't take you long to walk or fly or swing. Or Jarvis does offer a Quinjet that can be autopiloted for you if you need it.
Is there a non-playable character stationed beside a fast travel point?
I can group fly, right?
Ooh.
Is that an ability that you have?
It says so in the book, I think.
Okay,
it does. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, let's look it up
group
because
fly.
this is one of those where we all need to kind of figure out how the game plays. So let's look up group fly. That actually might be kind of fun.
Summons winds to carry others into the sky. For every rank the character has, they can hoist one ally into the air and make them fly on the wind.
Okay, and are you ranked 10 or 15?
15.
15. Yeah.
So you can easily carry all four characters.
Boom.
Let's
fly.
You want to do since Rocket has kind of deferred to Storm, and Storm has said let's group fly. Let's go ahead and do that. And
I hate flying.
Deal with it.
It's fine.
And I'm just gonna, for the sake of the game, I'm gonna say that just happens, rather than rolling for it, because I think it's pretty. So you do arrive on the scene, and you notice there are lots and lots of police. There's a large police presence around the building. You can see, you see some people walk past the windows of the building. It's a 3-story building, sort of rectangular, not very ornate. It looks like a museum of sorts. The kind of building you would expect to see on a New York university campus. When you arrive on the scene, the police officer in charge informs you that the situation is even worse than what they were told. Hydra agents are demanding. They have some interesting demands. First, they say they have hostages. The officers aren't quite sure about this because they said the museum was technically closed, and so they're not sure if there really were people still working there at the time or not. So there could be several hostages. There may be one hostage. There may be no hostages. They may be lying. The police are not sure, but they do say they have hostages. And they say if their demands are not met, every hour they will kill one of the hostages. And the hour is going to be up fairly soon. Now, on to their demands. They have demanded that the Statue of Liberty be draped in a Hydra uniform. And if that doesn't happen within the next hour, they will kill one of the hostages. Now,
and this is their first demand?
This is their one and only demand.
Oh, it's the only demand.
Where are we going to find those kind of drapes?
The policeman kind of looks at you funny and goes, maybe you should just go see if you can stop them. I don't really think we can dress up the Statue of Liberty like a Hydra agent.
I am Groot.
Yeah, okay, that's great. I love the aspen trees too. How do you know they're aspen trees?
I am Groot.
Because of the way that it is. Very nice. Okay. Somebody let's
while you're standing there thinking, you see a Hydra agent stick his head out the window and yell, "Hail Hydra!" And then he ducks back in.
What methods in do we have?
There's only one entrance, and at this point, let's bring up our map.
Fancy.
All right. So there's only one entrance. It's right here at the front of the building. It is 3 stories tall. You don't know much about the interior, but the building is 3 stories tall, and you can see through the front doors. You can see there's a large room, and there are sculptures of what appear to be constellations. Now, the building, as I said, it's rectangular. There's lots of windows on all 3 floors. What would you like to do?
Can we go to the roof?
You could go to the roof.
Is there a way in through like a basement?
There is a lower level.
How much time do we have till the hour's up? The first hour's up?
An hour?
About 10.
No, he said it was cool. You got to listen, Rocket.
About 15 minutes.
So we and the hostages are on the first floor, at least the first one.
You don't know that there actually are hostages. You don't know where they are. You've been told that they have hostages, but even the police aren't sure.
Do we have a way to tap into the surveillance?
No.
That's not helpful.
So we could go through a window that might be smarter than the front door. What do you guys think?
I like the idea of going to the roof and working our way down, because then we flush them out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have a stilt step.
Oh, so you can create steps for us to go up?
I can go up very quickly. I can climb quicker. I gotta go look it up.
I mean, I can swing, so that's.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty...
Spider-Man's the best one.
Mm-hmm.
and Storm can always fly.
It's
Rocket
true.
is the odd man out, stuck on the ground, unless
Poor
somebody
Rocket.
carries him.
I could carry him. Couldn't
Now, since Rocket is about to have to step away for a few minutes, I'm just, as the narrator, I don't usually want to give out this kind of thing, but since Rocket is going to get stuck, it has to step away anyway. This might be the opportunity for Rocket to get stuck on the ground for a few minutes. And
That
when he
sounds
comes
good for
back,
Rocket.
we can decide how he got into the building. How does that sound for you, Lucas?
Perfect.
Okay. So
All right. Good luck,
everybody's headed
Avengers.
to the ceiling. Everybody's headed to the roof except for Lucas. All right. And Lucas will join us again shortly. I hope. Hopefully the game is not over before
that would
Lucas
be
gets
interesting.
back.
Hey, Groot, Spider-Man, and Storm are still formidable.
This is true.
And now
All
we're
right.
on the roof. Good.
Yes. So I am just going to say all of you were able to get onto the roof. That seems like a simple task for all of you. By the way, in this game, there are some rules for different tasks. I'm going to throw out little bits of information about the game from time to time. There are some simple rules about difficulty. If let's say if Storm not having a special skill for climbing said she was going to climb up the side of the building, that actually might be a difficult task for her. Or so there is actually a chart in the book for how difficult a task might be. And it can add, so if it's super, super easy, it might add points to your roll. If it's super, super hard, it might subtract points from your roll. So that's kind of an interesting little mechanic they put in there. I think it's useful. One thing about it is a lot of kind of random things you might want to try to do probably don't actually have target numbers. And I, as the narrator, just have to decide what the target number is going to be. So that being said, that is kind of a special thing. So you guys have seen this. So you head up to the roof. Now, there is when you arrive on the roof, you don't see anything unusual. You see lots of, you see air conditioners, you see power units, all the normal stuff, pipes and just all the normal gray stuff you see on rooftops. And you see one small square with a door, one square area with a door, which is obviously the stairs down. So what would you like to do?
I think I open the door.
All right. So Groot goes and opens the door. And the first thing you see when you open the door is you do see a Hydra agent. And obviously they were prepared for somebody to come through the door. And actually you see there are 3 Hydra agents there. One notices you open the door. The other 2 were actually walking away. And as you open the door, they turn back around. So it is time to roll for initiative.
Yeah. Okay.
So everybody roll a 3d6. And then we're going to figure out your initiative. And if you'll look at your character sheets, you have a initiative modifier, which will either add or subtract from your initiative.
Hey, real quick, the 3d6 is what? Which die?
3 6-sided dice.
Okay.
3d6. So for those who are not super up on role-playing games, the D6 is a 6-sided dice. And then anytime there's a number in front of it, it is the number of 6-sided dice you're supposed to roll. So if you play things like Dungeons and Dragons, it might say 3d20, meaning you roll 3 20-sided dice. So in this case, everything is going to be a 3d6. So roll 3d6.
Okay.
Look at your modifiers.
I have a +7 with an edge. What does that mean?
Okay. And with an edge means you can re-roll, because an edge is kind of a special thing. An edge means you can re-roll one of your dice.
Okay.
If you want to.
I'm going to, because I got a 1. I got 1 away from 616, which that's fun. But all right. So yeah, I got 6, 2, and 5.
Okay. So add up your dice. In this instance, a 616 doesn't actually get you anything. But if did anybody roll a 1 on the Marvel die?
No.
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did.
Okay. So this is a special situation. If
Yay.
you roll a 1 on the Marvel die on initiative, it means you actually get a bonus round where you get basically you get an extra turn that nobody else gets.
Cool.
And I'm telling you right now, the other guys did not. So Storm, you are the only one who's going to get this bonus turn. So you're going to go first. Then, and we'll do that. And then everybody remember what your number is. So add up your dice, add up your modifier, and keep that number. And then we'll figure out the order for everybody. But first, Storm, what would you like to do? You can see that there are basically 3 guys. They're all with guns. And one of them is pointing the gun basically out the door, and the others are readying their weapons. What would you like to do?
I'd like to use. I have combat expert trait. Can I use that and take them all down?
Very possibly. Let's see what does that skill do for? Does that skill do for you?
Combat expert character has an edge on fight attacks against enemies of rank 5 or less. What rank, I guess, are the? Or
they
does
are
that
all
does that
they
apply?
are all 5 or less. So you would get. Now read that one more time for me.
Combat expert. This character has an edge on fight attacks against enemies of rank 5 or less.
Okay. All right. So let me explain what that means. Does it say that's just a thing you get? That's not actually that's a trait. Okay.
It's a trait.
So this is something you naturally have. Let me explain. So there's a difference between powers and traits. Traits are something you just naturally have.
Gotcha.
So in combat, you have an edge against anyone who is a 5 or less. An edge means you get to re-roll one of your dice.
Okay.
So you need to use a power or just use your fists to actually attack someone.
I'll use the shoot, let me look up the
Worse. I've got
blow back or blow down. I guess either one would work. Blow back power. Actually, no. Blow down. Blow down. Use a blast of wind. Use a blast of wind to blow down the foe.
Okay. So you are going to blow them down. And does it say anything special about that power? Does it say what kind of damage it is?
If the attack succeeds, the target is knocked prone. If the attack is a fantastic success, the target also takes range debris bashing, or takes range damage bashing from flying debris.
Okay, so in this instance, it might hurt them, but it might not. So let's go ahead and roll 3d6.
Okay.
Did you get a 1 on the Marvel die first?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Blow down. Ego versus agility. Okay. So let's look at. So what was your score? What would your roll?
14. And then did you say you add the modifier, or is that not a thing?
Okay, so it's 14 plus your ego modifier, which is 21.
So 35.
So 35, and that is against the either agility or might of the assailant. Does it affect more than one character? Does it say? It doesn't say.
Mm-mm.
Knock a foe down. So
Mhm.
so it's only going to affect the one. Okay. So their might. So I'm going to roll. And they rolled 5, and their might modifier is only a 3. I'm just going to tell you right now, these Hydra agents that you're running into right now, they are just cannon fodder. You guys are going to wipe them out very quickly.
Okay.
All right. So, and I actually, okay. So you're going to knock him down. The first guy is knocked down onto the ground. He's not injured, but he is on the ground. So he's going to have to get up in order to actually attack. Now, the other two can actually still attack. So let's go to initiative now. And what was everyone's initiative? This will be your 66 that you rolled plus your initiative modifier. So
I'm
what
20.
is everybody? 20?
I'm also
Yep.
20.
19.
Okay. All right. So since two of you have the same, I'll tell you, you're all going to go before they do. So since you both have 20, so Danley and BB Nate, you both rolled the same initiative with your initiative modifier. So if one of you had rolled a 1 on the Marvel die, that person would go first. Since neither of you did, then we go to your initiative modifier. Whoever has the higher initiative modifier would go first. However, you both have the same initiative modifier
Okay.
as well. I believe. Make sure I read that right. No. I'm sorry. Groot, you only have an initiative modifier of 4, whereas Spider-Man has an initiative modifier of 7. So in this instance, Spider-Man will go first, and you guys are already in the right order for me just to go right down the line. So this is what we're going to do. And this will be the initiative basically until we're done fighting. We're not gonna keep rolling initiative for each time until we have a new encounter. So at this point, the Ashley has had her bonus round, and now it is BB Nate's turn. I'm going to give them just a little bit of a move here so they actually can all come out so everybody can access everybody. So there are 3 standing there. They all have weapons. BB Nate, pick one, right, left, or center, and tell me what you're going to do.
Can I do left and let's do Spider Strike. I think that might be
Spider
fun.
Strike.
Well,
Yeah.
what is Spider Strike? It might be a good idea to explain some of these.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go through all as we do use them. We will explain them. So let's read Spider Strike to me.
Spider Strike. The effect is the character splits their attack to make 2 fight attacks at 1 enemy, or 1 fight attack at 2 enemies. Since I'm just choosing the left one, so it's 2 attacks at 1 enemy. If an attack is a success, the enemy takes half fight health, bashing damage. If an attack is a fantastic success, the enemy takes half fight health, bashing damage, and is paralyzed by webbing. After the attack, the character may run, jump, or climb at half speed for free.
All right. So, now, do you want to just do it to one person, or do you want to do it to 2? Okay. So that means you're going to do 2 strikes against 1 person. So let's see if you do it first. So go ahead and roll 3d6.
Okay, I got a 5, a 4, and a 3.
Okay, so you did not get a fantastic. So 5, 4, 3. So add that up, and then your modifier, Spider-Man, for let's see, what kind of this is a standard attack. Ah, I found it.
Okay.
Might versus the target's agility. Okay. Ha. Okay. So, all right. So BB Nate, since basically this is a punch, okay. So you're going to take your roll, whatever you just rolled, since it wasn't a fantastic anything or a fail. So you're going to take that, and then you're going to add your might modifier. So what is your might modifier? 12?
12, yes.
So what does that give you?
That is 25.
So 25. And that, so I take the bad guy here is going to roll, and he rolled 10, 12 plus his agility. So you're punching with might. I am dodging with agility. So he got 12 plus 4, so 16. So you definitely hit him. And since this one is a 2-prong attack, go ahead and do your second attack. Roll 3d6 again.
Okay. So, and then add that with the might again?
Yep.
So that is 22.
You definitely hit him twice. Now, for damage, in this instance, it was supposed to be half damage but you're doing it against the same person, correct?
Yes.
So it sounds to me like he takes full damage since he's not taking 1/2 and 1/2. Or am I reading that wrong?
I think that you're right there. Let me make sure.
So we're going to read that one more time, because some of these there are some great superpowers, and some of them are super complicated, and some of them are super straightforward. So Spider Strike, the character strikes in a blur of punches, kicks, and webbing. The character splits their attack to make 2 fight attacks on 1 enemy, or 1 fight attack at 2 enemies. If an attack is successful, the enemy takes half fight health bashing damage. Okay, so since both attacks were successful, we're just gonna you'll get both. So let's see. So your attack damage, let's see, Spider-Man. Your attack damage, your fight damage is 3d6 plus 14 plus 7. So go ahead and roll 3d6.
Okay.
What do you get?
I got 16.
16 plus 21.
Plus 21. Okay.
Plus 21.
Alrighty. That is 37.
37. So you definitely just he's out. He is gone. That one is out of play at this point. And I am Groot. You are up.
Oh, don't I get to run away though?
You don't have to run away.
Oh, I don't.
You can run away. You can move if you want to. If you want to punch the guy and then move out of the way, you can.
Nah, I'll stay.
Okay.
The other two, there's middle and right. Was one of them on the ground? I remember that Storm knocked him down, but he didn't get hurt.
Oh yes. I'm going to say the one in the center was on the ground.
Okay. Groot doesn't like that he fell down and didn't get hurt, so I use Crushing Grip on the middle one.
Okay. And read Crushing Grip to us.
This is let's see. Trigger is the character grabs or is grabbing an enemy. It's able to be maintained, and the character makes a might versus resilience attack. If it's a success, the enemy takes fight damage, bashing damage, and is pinned. So I'm keeping him on the ground unless I knock him out. This power can't be maintained with a standard action, automatically inflicting the same amount of damage.
Okay, and it's a might versus what?
Resilience.
Might versus resilience. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll 3d6.
Hold on. I dropped it. I shouldn't be using such a small table. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's bad. 1, 2, and a 3. So that's 6.
Is the Marvel die a 1?
No.
Okay, a 1, 2, and a 3. So you rolled a 6.
Yep.
Plus your might modifier,
which is, I just had it up. Might modifier is plus 15.
So 6 plus 15 is 21.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 16 plus my, you said resilience.
Yep.
16 plus 2 is 18. So you were successful.
Awesome.
So he is going to take a bunch of damage. So what does your damage say? Fight
damage. Fight damage. 3d6 plus 28 plus 8.
Okay. I'm not even going to make you roll.
Yeah. I'm gonna destroy this guy.
The plus is enough. You not only held him down, you pushed him into the ceiling just a bit, and he is out.
Well, my roll was awesome. I went ahead and did it. It was 14.
Oh yeah, that hurt. So he is down. Storm, you are up.
I want to use. I'm trying to decide between lightning barrage or lightning strike. Yeah,
that sounds exciting.
I am Groot.
And at this point, we have no idea what he said.
Mm-hmm. I like lightning barrage. Let's have some fun with that.
Lightning barrage. Okay. So let's read lightning barrage to me.
So, what is that's interesting. Prerequisite design.
Prerequisite. Certain powers will require you to have some kind of prerequisite. Either you have to have some other superpower.
Oh, okay.
Or you have to be at a certain level. In this instance, lightning barrage, you have to have taken lightning strike already.
Cool. And
you have to be at least level 15, which Storm is. So that's why she can have lightning barrage.
So, okay. So do I have to start with lightning strike?
No.
I just have to have it. Okay.
You have to have it as one of your powers set. Cool. So this would be if you were building a brand new character and you wanted lightning barrage. But I said, hey, we're only building characters that are rank 5. Mm-hmm. Well, lightning barrage wouldn't be an option.
Gotcha.
If I said we're building characters that are rank 15, you would have to take lightning strike as one of your powers before you could take lightning barrage. So then you could have both.
Cool.
All right. So go ahead and read the rest of it to us.
Cool. The character picks a spot within line of sight, makes an ego check and compares that against the resilience defense of every enemy within 50 feet. Holy cow. Maybe we just need lightning strike if the other two guys have already been taken care of. Now that I'm reading this more in depth.
It's fine. Either one is fine. No, this is fine because it's only going to affect the enemies.
Cool. Then let's do lightning barrage. We'll just have some fun. Holy cow. Pick a spot, make an ego check, and compare that against the resilience defense of every enemy within 50 feet of that spot who's exposed to the elements. Any enemy the attack succeeds against takes ranged physical damage. If the attack is a fantastic success, the enemy takes double damage. Also triggers the thunder power automatically. You're welcome.
I don't know what thunder power is, but that's cool.
We just went overkill on
So-
every single one of these people.
So you're gonna roll an ego check. So roll your 3d6.
Ooh. Any character the attack succeeds against with thunder is deafened.
Oh, cool.
If the attack is a fantastic success, the character is also stunned. Fun stuff.
All right, so go ahead and roll your 3d6.
Yep. 14.
14 plus your ego modifier.
14 plus 21, so 35.
35, and I am rolling resilience. And you definitely succeeded.
Huzzah!
So you definitely hit him. So let's roll your damage, and it says ranged physical to energy damage. So ranged damage. What's your ranged damage?
3d6 plus 28 plus 2. So
Okay.
3d6.
Go ahead and roll it.
30 plus whatever.
I promise later you guys will fight some people who actually have some power.
38.
38.
Yeah,
He is out.
Yeah.
He is out. He is out of commission. So you have taken down 3. You don't know. They don't know how many are inside, but you know for sure you've taken out 3.
Cool.
Good start.
We did it, guys.
All right.
Yay.
So the doorway is open. You are free to do whatever you want to do now. So before we go, why don't you just real quick go around and tell us again who you are and where people can find you.
I'm BB Nate from Tatooine Suns, and you can find me anywhere you listen to the podcast. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at Tatooine Suns, SONS, and at TatooineSuns.com.
You can find me with Fangirling Over Jesus. You can go to fangirlingoverjesus.com, search Fangirling Over Jesus on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple, and then Instagram and Facebook. And check out our Patreon if you go to our website.
I'm Dan Gibson. You can find me on my website that I made, baconoffice.com. It just redirects to our podcast page, but I thought it was a really good website that people wouldn't forget.
That's awesome. And I am Ricky Pope with Christian Nerds Unite, and it has been a joy having everybody on this show. Thank you all very much, and we will be back for part 2.
Hey, thanks again for watching and checking out something new that we're getting to do with some of the best people in the podcasting space. Make sure that if you want to see more episodes like this, that you go to the Christian Nerds Unite podcast and the Christian Nerds Unite YouTube channel, as Ricky will be posting each of the subsequent episodes, and you can get caught up before we finish our game. Leave us a message, a comment, let us know what you thought about this game, and again, if you like this kind of content, we would love to keep creating stuff that y'all enjoy. Thanks for watching The Reverend and the Reprobate. Y'all have good, give, and we'll see you next week.